Here's a quick little video on shifting to third position. I'm going to use the A string, but once you can do it on A, I would go ahead and do the same exercises on E, D, and G. G I would say for last, and we'll talk about it why in a minute. So on the A string, our third finger is playing the note D. So when we shift to third position, we're using first finger to play third finger's note, D. So to learn to get there, we're going to use our third finger to help us. My D is ringing. So now I'm going to shift. I'm going to release my thumb and slide as one motion. No creepy crawling. One motion and then drop one. So we'll do that again. Maybe open A so you have your ears set. D in first position. Take the time to make sure you're ringing. And then shift and match. Okay, if you miss, don't fix it. Just evaluate. Was that too high or too low? I was too high, so now I'm going to do it again and go lower. That was too low. So now I'm going to do it again and try to get it right in the middle. There we go. The reason you don't want to fix is that really what you're doing is you're teaching your hand what that distance is from first position to third position, that first finger. And if you're always fixing, then you're actually teaching your hand to go to the wrong answer and then fix it, which isn't going to serve you well in a piece, for sure. So when you feel comfortable, my measure is if I can do it 10 times in a row, then I'm ready to go on to the next step. So the next step is we would place the 3 but not play it. Replace the 3 with the 1. Is it still ringing? Silent 3, replace. And then when you can do that 10 times in a row, then you're ready to go directly to third position. Again, making sure you don't fix. Just notice what was wrong and fix it the next time. Notice I'm using detached bows, not long. I think when you start using long bows, then you have to worry about what your bow is doing. And when you're learning shifting, you want to be free to focus on your left hand. Also, detached bows are a little easier to hear. When you hear that ringing, when your bow has stopped. Right, you want to be able to hear that. So then once you've gotten to third position, you can start to play the notes, listening always for the ringing. So that was D, a whole step to E, so there's a space between D and E, a whole step to F sharp, and then a half step to G, so 3 and 4, F sharp and G are touching. I could also practice my whole step and then a half step to F, which gives me a whole step to G. So that's what that finger pattern looks like. Whole step, half step, whole step. And I could practice half step to E flat, whole step to F, whole step to G. So then I have a half step at the beginning and 2 whole steps, right? So then it's time to move on to the E string. Again, making sure that you are releasing your thumb and moving your hand in one motion. Play the 3. Replace the 3 with 1. So now we're playing the note A on the E string. In first and then in third. So it's going to match, right? So you go through the same steps, and then on the D string, we have our G to match. So those 3 strings, our shifting note is always a ringing tone. A ringing tone is a note that matches an open string. So we have A on the E string, D on the A string, and G on the D string. So that ringing is really helpful in teaching us what our notes should sound like and how to base our finger patterns. If one is in tune, then your finger pattern has a really good chance of being in tune. But if one is out of tune, the rest of your fingers don't have a prayer. So then we save G for last just because it requires the most effort from the left hand and the right hand, but also because it doesn't have a ringing tone. It's C. And since we're not violists, we don't have a C string. So we want to be very sure of that shift before we go to the G string. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Happy